respiration in plant haidare ka she dagi yam important we chapter amasu khoina consider to we book plant physiology gi oina sida khoina kadone haidare gadi an introduction portion nam lakse boka na mana question nama hangi haidare karino all of us breathe to live haidare ka but why breathing is essential for life na mana question nama hangam ko kholoina mak nanga sai gi breathing to we haidare boku hingna bagi damak daru kai gi breathing to rino sine boku mana question se hangai se boka what happen when we breathe haidare khona breathe chor hon basida kai doge khona hana dum khang leiram ne boka breathing to rese tai kanam ta ki nate nanga sai breathing to baganda oxygen se khona haksang mun se pujan ga doini haidare boka oxygen se pujala kana nanga sai gi hai khona mitochondria sida kana puthok ga doino haidare ga di koi gi glucose breakdown to rakanda nanga sai gi ATP herbe energy se puthong na bagi damak tani haidare boka or cellular respiration pangthong na bagi damak te khona breathing dorin haidare boka at the same time nanga sai gi sigi process ta matam da carbon dioxide chu generate tor ka doine boka carbon dioxide se make breathing gi through da nanga sai gi body mapan da gi eliminate to gi doine haidare ka carbon dioxide ji yamna wanghan bsu ya de haidare ko yaksang sida adugi damak te breathing dorin haidare boka adigi also mana hai ko do all living organism including the plant microbes breathe haidare mana question nama hangi e boka pambi su breathing dobra microbes kangu su breathing dobra sine boka if so how combine to breathing to we sine ba sugum mayam si ge answer yeng haidare gadi makhata ne koi kedo se boka yeng se boka gi hype no yeng se boka all living organism need energy for kanano haidare gadi carrying out different life activities be is absorption transport movement natraga reproduction or even breathing haidare ko kadi gi ne khone nanga sai gi energy requirement le sin mana question nama hangi haidare ko energy requirement le se kadi gi no na question nama hangi le boko kadi gi no haidare ga di energy na to carry it out haidare boko to carry it out nanga sai gi daily life activity haidare boko life activities mayam pangthok piana bagi damak tar ko gi energy se require ne boko daily life activity haidare ga di khona nanga sai gi se absorption hoi bi haidare boko absorption hoi bi ka nanga sai gi amana kana no haidare ga di transport tong na bagi damak ta haidare boko transport tong na bagi damak ta nanga sai gi boko transport haidare ga di gas e ko yakchang manung sida nutrient gumba transport over gas gumba transport over duguma mayam khanar su yai ka adagi amana kanano haidare gedi movement do biya na bagi damak ta ka se so dum khana bi hai number 4 dana kari khana bi ya haidare gedi reproduction jisu nanga sai gi energy require process amane haidare and even ekona sure holy si so kari changi haidare gedi nanga sai gi energy sang do ina haidare etc mayam lai gre haidare buko koni energy require se buka adagi where does all this energy come si energy mayam se kadai dagi lakpano sine man hai gi do se buka she answer amakum se we know that karina we eat food ka for energy khona sigi energy si kadai degi lakpano haidare gadi it comes from kadai de khone sari pachinja haidare boka chitagi energy lakadoine but how is this energy taken from food haidare si food chidagi combine tor kana ga sigi energy si phangi no sine boka mana hang ise boka adudi food chidu ga iba masang inatrane so how is this energy utilized combined organ as energy utilized to no sine boka do all food give the same amount of energy ne ko ne sari bisinja kloina mak chap mana be energy pibra mana hangi se ko respiratory question na last morning da malaye boka atu to ki answer khumuk pian ngai mong de ne boka question se set up torum se boka ade question yam hangi swai da do plan pa bi su sabra sine boka ko animal lo na pa bi si so mai machinjak sabra sine ba hang jale se boka do where do the plant get their energy amana pambi na combine to ga energy si phange sine boka question ma amana khoida hangalak bai wari ne boka and microorganism for their energy requirement do they eat microorganism to ma put chabra sine ba hang ka do se boka sigi mayam gi answer ko loina nanga sai ki paragraph by paragraph atigi topic wise khumak ka doini haidare boka okay sina introduction portion mati amane haidare boka khara mana sigi answer khumba ya ngai da makta akoi gi makhada khara points khada pire boko You may wonder all the at the several question rise above haitareboko. They may seem to be very disconnected connection amati sembadi wena ngamdri sini haitareboko hujiki introduction kita huribini buka. But in reality, the process of breathing is very much connected to the process of release of energy from that haitareko. Nang aikoina ngasai breathing do research sima da dom statement based dom hang pagi sang khara wang haitareboka. Breathing do riba process ga energy release to weak process ga yamna tina connected oi haitareko ing mas ngasai jo hai greboka. Kamain tor kana breathing to bani energy phangbuno haitaregadi breathing tor kana oxygen consume to resi oxygen jina glucose breakdown tor kana ATP sabada energy si sangda energy bu thorko doini haitare ko duna breathing ga energy bu thokpaka yamna tina related oi haitare ko let us try ko mana try to si kamain tor kana ngasai ki si energy release tor puno si yeng si sine ko man haisa. All the energy requirement for the life process is obtained by the oxidation of some macromolecule that we call food haitarebuka. So energy fangi haitaregedi kamai to haitaregedi macromolecule ko macromolecule haitaregedi atai khanam tan te ko man hai se food to ni haitarebuka. Food se ekoina kai dawrani oxidation dawrani haitarebuka. Oxidation haregedi breakdown hayoko. Oxidation dawrani oxidation haitaregedi atai kanam tana te nanga sai ki breakdown to haitarebuko breakdown to rakanda nanga sai ki sigi energy se koina obtain dawgadabani haitarebuko like sigi energy sina kai dawda sina ba haitaregedi utilize for kanagi haitaregedi life processes haitarebuko. Okay, smile. Okay, so that nang semdok ka bam lay buko ano ba NCERT dana sige only hyper wahi se yauda bani haitare buko dana sige only hyper wahi sinang si maka o buko. Okay, kadai why dana I reference sam ta pira kaina video ama upload to ki buda NCERT ki kari na changes lay na koina video maina thagat ki bane buko da so sige change to bu mayam su u bani haitare buko adubo sabsana hyper hairam ge buko location do kadai why dono na sumaina no be NCERT tane sumaina piri haitare boko green plan ne na hakda hek bane boko only hai boko hai du kakhi bane haitare boko sis na kana NCERT no reprint oira ba haitare boko revised syllabus ne haitare ko 2025-26 ke oina sumaina kak khot pa se so khara I mention tor ke boko adu pulap yenge hairaga di hoji ke na video ma thagat khibodo hodu do oina yeng boko. So green plant and kanano haitare di cyanobacteria can prepare their own food haitareboko by the process called photosynthesis haitareboko adu idaregedi sinanga sagi ko important oiba point amasu phangi haitareboko kana no haitaregedi green plant haitare amana kana no haitaregedi cyanobacteria haitareboko cyanobacteria haitaregedi atai kana antanateboko nanga sagi blue green algae sin haitareboko makoi sina kai do bangam bano haitare ka dinanga saigi masai machinjak sa bangam jaba haitare boko. So they perform process ama maming ne kai ko ke haitare ka di photosynthesis ko process ama moina sat perform da godoi ne boko to nanga saigi prepare their own food haitare boko prepare their own food haitare boko masinja masagi masinja masana sung jaba haitare ko si process sigi through the boko. Okay, kamain to sabno haitaregedi they trap light energy and converted into the chemical energy that is stored in bone of carbohydrate like kanano glucose kuma sucrose kuma degi starch kuma haitare buko kamain to sagi haitaregedi makoi sina ne sunlight haitare buko sunlight si kamain to photosynthesis ki process ne buko khonam haige to resa moina kamain to bun haitaregedi sigi nongsa mangan di yaw solar energy haitare boko nongsa mangan gi oiba solar energy se kai dawrani haitare gadi trap dawrani haitare ko moina pajani gadoini haitare boko trap dawrakana solar energy se trap dawrakana kai de convert to no haitare tinanga se chemical energy da boko. Okay, so mine hyped iram ge boko. So sigi sunlight se kanana capture dawrani haitare gadi sigi kanano akhoi nanga sagi green plant oi bi cyanobacteria oi bi haitare boko it may be green plant or nangasagi cyanobacteria haitare boko se nangasai kamai tawna haitare gadi trap tawrane boko trap haitare boko khona man photosynthesis ta su yengkhibadune boko trap tawrakanda kamai tawno haitare gadi sigida nangasai lairiba carbon sing sigi marakta kamai tawno haitare gadi mana nangasai bone energy don thorakadoini haitare boko bone energy carbon sigi marakta mana bone ama sagalakadoini haitare boko bone energy ama thorakadoini boko sigi bone energy sina hayeng kana form tawkadamu haitare gadi in may form into glucose on kibiya haitare boko glucose tagi makata na hayeng kana on kibiya bano suzama hebela ke boko kari kumbana ngasagi transport tawkadabu oira boko transport tawda mafam amadagi mafam amda nangasai glucose transport tawge haitare gadi kanada convert tawkadamu haitare gadi nangasagi sucrose ta convert tawkadoine boko natraga sigi glucose store tawgadabu oida tare gadi mohoina kari ta convert tawrakani nangasagi starch from the convert tawkadabuni haitare boko cinema haise boko adu sida uri si kari no haitare gadi sida uri ba process ekhoina conversion of nangasagi solar energy into natraga light energy into chemical energy haitare boko conversion of kanano haitare gadi solar energy into kanano haitare gadi chemical energy haitare boko chemical energy sigi process ni khoini isam sambul honda da photosynthesis sina hairi se boko okay similarly and then we must remember that green plant too not all the cell tissue or organ photosynthesizes haitare boko photosynthesizes haitare gadi photosynthesis perform tawbuduni haitare boko amaka halake we must remember that green plant too haitare boko not all the cell loinamak natte haitare tissue loinamak natte organ loinamak natte haitare boko photosynthesis tawrise kanana tawgani only cell kadauba kanamba cell only nangasagi chloroplast yawa cell dona photosynthesis tawgodaini haitare boko aga chloroplast namaka kadai leiba haitare gadi there are most of them located on the superficial layer carried out the kanano photosynthesis haitare boko mapalom da thangak haitare ko deep dive ama changu haitare gadi sigi topic sigi boko ko habit lag se haitare boko so photosynthesizes ki meaning am tang la kam habit iram ge boko photosynthesizes haitare gadi to perform photosynthesis haitare boko to perform photosynthesis se khoina photosynthesizes ko haitare boko so kamai to no haitare gadi pambi si da boko plant da me yeng se haitare boko plant da yeng se plant da tissue loinamak cell loinamak organ loinamak na hai boko not all the cell natraga not all the organ all the organs oigera natraga tissue oigera photosynthesis to loina ngamde chine boko can perform photosynthesis kanano haidare gadi photosynthesis haidare boko photosynthesis mohoi loina to bangam haiba natte ba mana ji to bangam godori se boko so green plants the photosynthesis can be performed by can only be performed by haidare boko performed by those kanano haidare cells kanamba cells that contain kana yagudaba nangasagi chloroplast yagudaba haitare ko chloroplast yawu cell do khaktana pambi da photosynthesis tawebo adusu karamba cell no haitare gadi there are located on the superficial position haitare boko that are present haitare boko on the superficial position haitare boko superficial position haitare gadi nangasagi sunlight ta contact lainariba area haitare boko or area kanina hairam biya ke haitare gadi that is in contact haitare ko in contact with the kanano haitare gadi sunlight haitare boko sunlight siga napnadiba adugumba na ngasai gi mafam du khakta adugumba gi leiriba cell du khakta na ngasai cell da kana yawda chloroplast haw adugumba kan gi cell do aduna photosynthesis pangtok pangam gani sine ba hai se boko hence haidare ko even green plant or so all the organ tissue cells that are non green haidare boko need food for oxidation haida adudi kamain to botare si sing side si cell moi the photosynthesis perform do din hai ko okay kan na hai se boko can perform photosynthesis hai am se boko adudi moi photosynthesis to da tare gadi kamain to ba hai tare gadi mokoi machinja kadai de gi lakani sini hai tare boko mokoi machinja sina kadai gi through the lakno mang lieng se boko so sida koi wari am la se boko sida cell am lai re boko sida cell am lai rin hai re se boko for example cells ko sida cell am lai re se karamba cell no mangonda kana yaw gada ba chloroplast yaw gada ba hai tare boko sina ka do gada ba chloroplast yaw gada ba hai tare boko si chloroplast yaw cell sina kamain to gada ba sunlight la ne boko okay sina sunlight haram ge boko sunlight in high ge boko solar energy sidagi mana hayeng conversion ama tawrani kari process atharani photosynthesis atharani hai dare boko sidaka dawda ba photosynthesis sathale hai dare boko to kana sunga ani nanga saigi glucose hai de sunga kadoini hai dare boko sida cell ama laire de sidi photosynthesis tawba cells hai dare boko that perform photosynthesis in hiram se boko perform photosynthesis hai tare boko adagi somna kante koi cell am la sine pambi da ne ko pambi gi cell ne lau se boko pambi gi cell ne sina plant cell that do not perform photosynthesis in hai se boko these are the plant cell that do not perform photosynthesis in hai se boko synthesis and high se bodu di kamain tor ga madi hinga da bono meng se bo kodu di nanga sai gi sigi glucose transport tor putare tanagi through the transport tor kada ba xylem phloem gi haire ga di phloem gi through the transport tor kada ne bo ko transport to matam da kana wala kani sisu khang da ya de bo ko transport to matam da ma se sucrose solani adi kamain tor ni nanga sai pula ka ne ko kana na pula ka na phloem na pula ka ne sida sucrose ma ka kana da ma ola ni glucose da ma on ga ne bo ka glucose to ola kanda oxidation to godaini sida nanga sai oxygen pijala kadrini aduga kanada on thokada bananga sai gi energy on thor kadini haidare boko adu targri masi energy phange isine bhai gadus pambi loina ma ki cell loina pambi oi haraga boko nanga sai gi photo chloroplast yaw da cell de photosynthesis to banga maidana ma de nanga sai gi si bata kadu ya boko do si dana bagi green plant da yarba chloroplast na glucose nge glucose ma ka transport or kan non green part to da man machinjak pi gi ne hai ko oxidation hai tare thugai bu ne hai tare bo ko glucose thugai bu ne lawr si ai ko si case tadi hence food has to be translocated means transport to tare kadai da non green part of plant hai tare bo ko samai na ma lai de ya ro sine bo ko ma hai se and then makha makta se hai tare boko makha ta bada kari hairege animal are kanano mana sida haire heterotrophic haire tare boko animal are kanano heterotrophic ne hai tare means they are obtain their food hai tare kamoi de manga sagi masin jak se kadai de gi lakno hai tare ke di directly ko herbivorous or indirectly carnivorous hai tare adu di animal gi matang di khoi wahi khari ngam se boko animal da ko how do they obtain their food in a question now tham se boko how do they obtain their food hai tare boko na question so wama adu di animal se di magi food obtain to hai tare means ani lai hai tare boko so two means to obtain food hai tare ko two means to kanano hai tare gadi obtain food hai tare boko mai machin jak sinanga sagi phangna beida ma min chani lai la ne boko amana kamai to no min samana directly plant depend to hai tare boko one is directly depend on the plant directly depend on the kanano hai tare gadi green plant hai tare boko green plant hai se boko sugum bakangu singsine khone kai ka herbivore ka hai tare boko herbivores ko haitare adagi amana kanano haitare gadi indirectly haitare boko indirectly depend on the plant ko depend on the plant ina haira masuyai ko or sumaina haira suyai ko to pulonda da ko directly depend on those that eat haitare boko that eat green plant ina haise boko green plant or atopo londa di herbivore ina haira suyai ko herbivore ina haira suyai haitare boko sugum kangu singsine khona kai kauba carnivore ko ni haitare boko carnivores ko ni haitare boko sumaina makhanani leigedoine boko directly indirectly ina boko adigi saprophytes haitare saprophyte kangu khare pire fungi sina are dependent on dead and decaying organic matter to depend on boko sina animal gi wari ne boko adigi fungi kangu lakse boko saprophytes haitare gidi fungi gumba adigi na ngasagi protista kangu gumba haitare boko mane example khare pire boko fungi gumba ka aduba extra example ama piu haitare gidi na ngasagi protista kangu khara kon loina makti na te ko khara haitare boko sammain hairam se boko mukhoina machinja kamai to haitare dead and decaying organic matter haitare boko depend on kanano dead and decaying depend on dead asiba amasum decaying patapum da haitare boko decaying organic matter for karino haitare gadi magi machinja ki damakta sumana mana depend to isne boko khona kadisa. Okay, next, what is important to recognize is that ultimately all the food that is respired energy the convert to within a command respire ko for light processes come from kanano haitare gadi photosynthesis the lo ina maglai sin haitare boko and himena phangi si so photosynthesis te lani kamai to lakpa green plant photosynthesis to moina saaz bagi wa haktne ba ada carnivore haigera makhoi na kanada depend to bana ngasagi green plant sab kangu ka green plant sab kangu the depend to bagi khaktai wa ne ko adu ultimately green plant na kai do godabu na photosynthesis to ra matung da machinjak phanggadoi ni haidare boko. Okay, this chapter se dekhoni kaino yengadoi sai that deal with the cellular respiration haidare ko or the mechanism of breakdown of the food material within the cell to release energy and the trapping of this energy for the synthesis of ATP haidare ko the definition phajaba ma phangi haidare boko kan hai definition of cellular respiration ge boko cellular respiration haidare boko respiration haidare boko it is the process and ekona haidam bi ko is the process thawong mo idini haidare boko kedoba thawong sida breakdown of food material haidare boko process in which kari haidam bi aba the breakdown of kanano mano hojik haida breakdown of oxidation has ko food material within the cells haidare ko of food material within the kanano haidare gadi cell manung da haidare boko kaidona bagi damakta to release energy haidare boko to release energy and kadoba trapping haidare boko trapping for the synthesis of ATP ko for the synthesis of ATP haidare boko energy puthor ka doni energy ti higher form masulai haidare ka si higher form done be kon ATP ko kudui se haidare boko kamai tor ka nanga sagi si ATP puthor puno done be kon deal da kudui se haidare ko cellular respiration se da boko adagi makhata aba mana kari piram ge haidare ge se topic masa ma piram haidare ko topic se kitang sang ko topic ne boko. Okay, do plant breed phogi mamang si ki introduction topic se kon loi salam se haidare boko. The photosynthesis of course take place within the canal chloroplast in the eukaryotes kanguda boka where the breakdown of the complex material to yield canal haitare energy take place in the cytoplasm and in the mitochondria also only in eukaryotes haitare boka. so ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ eukaryotes ꯀꯤ ꯃꯇꯥꯡ ꯂꯥꯛꯁꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦꯕꯀꯣ so ꯀꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯒꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯦꯜ ꯑꯃꯇꯪ ꯍꯥꯟꯅ ꯌꯦꯡꯉꯛꯈꯤꯁꯦ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯃꯥꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯄ꯭ꯔꯣꯁꯦꯁꯁꯤꯡꯁꯦ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯑꯃꯃꯝꯇ ꯒ꯭ꯌꯥꯟ ꯇꯥꯅꯕ ꯇꯧꯁꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯁꯤꯗ ꯀꯅꯥ ꯂꯩꯔꯦ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯣꯔꯣꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ ꯂꯩꯔꯦꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯁꯦꯕꯀꯣ ꯀ꯭ꯂꯣꯔꯣꯄ꯭ꯂꯥꯁ ꯂꯩꯔꯦꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯁꯤ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯀꯅꯥ ꯂꯩꯔꯒꯦ ꯁ꯭ꯋꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯃꯨꯛꯀ ꯃꯥꯏꯇꯣꯀꯣꯟꯗ꯭ꯔꯤꯌꯥ ꯍꯥꯏꯅ ꯍꯥꯏꯐꯦꯠ ꯂꯥꯛꯈꯤ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦꯕꯀꯣ so cell organelle ꯑꯅꯤꯅꯤꯀꯣ ꯁꯤꯁꯤ ꯀꯅꯥꯅꯣ ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯒꯗꯤ cell ꯍꯥꯏꯇꯥꯔꯦꯕꯀꯣ sina kanano chloroplast na laurus haitare boko adigi sisna kanano haitare gidi mitochondria na laurus haitare boko sina kanano haitare gidi cytoplasm in laurus boko cytoplasm in laurus boko sidagi dauba photosynthesis se kadai dawrani chloroplast dawrani ko eukaryotes loina maki wari ne boko sidana kai dawrani haitare photosynthesis dawrani haitare boko photosynthesis and then kadawa where the breakdown of the complex molecule like to yield energy take place in the cytoplasm haida photosynthesis dawrani photosynthesis tagi kana product phangani haitare gidi nanga sagi koi carbohydrate glucose phangani haitare boko glucose nanga sai kadai de thorani haitare gidi nanga sagi khoi gi de thogalake boko cytoplasm de thogalake haitare boko glucose thorani sigi glucose na kamai to haitare gidi thugai rani haitare boko breakdown haitare boko or oxidation in haira asu yai ko kem ta kai bi leite ba kadai de breakdown to ni the breakdown of complex molecule to yield energy cg ne ba mana complex molecule in haige do ise boko complex molecules in ebananga sagi khogi sigi glucose oi ge doi sai tare boko sigi glucose na breakdown kadai de to ni cytoplasm do de ne boko breakdown to ra kana kana un gane hai tare ge di nanga sagi cytoplasm the breakdown okay yare ko sumaina breakdown to rin hai se boko complex simple molecule da simple molecules hai tare boko adagi sigi breakdown amak to bu su kadai to na mitochondria da so maka si amaka breakdown do go din hai tare boko si su kana no hai tare ke di breakdown ne ba to go se mitochondria daga cytoplasm daga breakdown ani mak to we ne boko kona hai ge doi se sidagi hayang kana no finally puthoraka do sinanga sagi ATP puthoraka do ni hai tare boko so only in the kana no eukaryotes ki wari ne boko the breaking of the carbon bond complex ko of the complex molecule through the oxidation within the cell lead to the release of considerable amount of energy called the respiration haidare boko sida su kamai to bana mana ma hai sing se boko sida khuna kamai to no complex molecule ma laure haidare boko complex molecule ma or sigi example lak se boko khoine nanga sagi glucose complex molecule ma laure haidare boko or sumaine khuna londa se samani to se boko glucose haidare ge carbon saba bon nak tane boko u ko dorise sida kamai to ni khuna sida bon thugai ra ka doi ne boko sigi bon thugai ra ka doi ne bon thugai ra ka doi haidare boko breaking down of bone se occur do go doi ne haidare boko this is the breakdown of kanano haitare ke carbon na laiba bone se breakdown thugai ka doi ni haitare ko si thugai ba matam da kana release tawna haitare ke energy release tawra ka doi ne ko release of energy adu si breakdown tawna kadai da tawna haitare ke di nanga sagi cytoplasm da amana mitochondria da haitare ko at amana cytoplasm da su tawra kani and at amana kanano mitochondria da su tawra ka doi ni haitare ko okay system laire hana sigi breakdown to ba the energy release to process ne ko ne respiration hari se ko adu bo ayamba breathing respiration ga si manana di sat le haitare ko sing badi different process ne ko ne khanar su ya ba zani haitare ko the compound that are oxidized during the process ko respiratory substrate ko haitare ko adu di si thugai ri ba po sigi thugai ga da po se kai ko ge haitare respiratory substrate ko process na kai ko ba haitare ge dikhona respiration ko haitare ko thugai ge da pot sine ba ekhone respiratory substrate ko gudu se ko respiratory tari kai do bia ba nanga sagi substrate and khanar se ya haitare ko sisa and then makha manda se ko usually carbohydrate are oxidized to release energy. Ado ayama matamda respiratory substrate se akoina khanabada kana carbohydrate na oiga lesin he boko simas important oiba point amane koina khanaji ai boko. But tabu protein fat adagi even organic acid sing sidhu respiratory substrate un ek to biya he dare boko in some plant under certain conditions ai dare boko. Ado dare ga sigi so point ama hypet iram se boko. Common oiba respiratory substrate se kanano haitare gadi common or usually haitare boko a respiratory substrate se tari substrate se kana oike haiba matam da carbohydrate si oi haitare boko carbohydrate haitare boko se amba respiratory substrate oi boko but nanga sagi protein gumba adagi kana no ma hairmi do fat kumba and even organic acid haitare boko fats kumba adagi organic acid haitare boko organic acid sisu kari uni ek to biya ge haitare ge respiratory substrate oina ek to rasu yai haitare boko adubu in some plant oi haitare boko loina magdadi natte haitare boko some plant ada ayam common origin kana carbohydrates na common oi ke da bani haitare boko ada sing sidi certain condition do nanga saki pambi sing sida respiratory substrate on ek to rusi hai ko adai makha tarak pada mana sumaina point ama mention tawra me ko during oxidation haidare ko within the cell oxidation haire ke dum breakdown sine no khallo ko all the energy contain ko during oxidation ko within the cell all the energy contained in a respiratory substrate is not release free into the cells haitare buko or in a single step haitare buko mana is step mayam sangani sine buko nanga saigi kamai to uno haitare gadi khoi respiratory substrate amasida laura se haitare buko so respiratory substrate am laura this is the respiratory substrate haitare buko sida mangonda 100% energy yawina haire se buko 100% energy yawina haire se buko adubu nanga sagi amaktang thugai bada amaktang oxidation to matam da sigi 100% energy di thoroi haitare buko so sida amaktang oxidation to matam da kamai to no haitare kadi not all the energy release haitare ko not all the energy release haitare buko loina ma energy release to roi sine buko okay energy banan lan kre ka energy haitare buko energy loina release to roi haitare buko or in a single step haitare single step the energy loina release to roi ko aduna kamai to ba man energy release to ro ke haitare kadi slow step wise reaction ama pangthora kane boko na sai ki haiba reaction to enzyme man control thor ka doine haitare boko and it trap as a kanano chemical energy in the form of na sai ki ATP lo ka doine boko sigi mahut sida sigi minus di kasu release to rois boko so minus step wise breakdown tor ka doine haiba step wise breakdown tor pasida na sai ki enzyme man sang doine boko so step wise breakdown of kanano haitare kadi breakdown of kanano respiratory substrate haitare buko respiratory substrate haitare buko kanana control to pa haitare gidi enzyme am ko controlled by various enzyme haitare buko enzyme am nang sai control to kadam ne buko reaction am sing se buko adagi ama kamai to haitare gidi sidai nang sai gi energy thor kadoine haitare buko sidagi energy hoi marak to su energy thor kadoine haitare buko sigi thore iba energy mayam sine nanga sagi trap tawrani haitare boko trap tawra kanda kanada convert tawda ba haitare kedi nanga sagi ATP olakada sine boko koin haige dise boko hence kari habia it is important to understand that energy released by oxidation in the respiration is not or rather cannot be directly used in as used to synthesis ATP which is broken down whenever haitare ko and wherever energy needed to be utilized haitare nanga sagi sida release to energy ko loin sina bangam gada ba natte haitare boko cells sina loin utilize to boko ba natte haitare boko adu im hota okay amakala ke boko sentence so Hence, it is important to understand the energy released by the oxidation in the respiration is not used directly but used to synthesize ATP. Nanga sai release to the energy synthesis somehow trap to energy gi form amount to ATP form amount to hence ATP sina energy currency of the cells important the energy trapped in ATP is utilized in various energy requiring process in the organism, and the carbon skeleton produced during the respiration is used as a precursor for the biosynthesis of other molecule in the cells. Last sentence post so energy energy ATP energy currency of the cells energy currency of the cells energy requiring process and the carbon skeleton molecule so utilize in various energy requiring process energy requiring process energy requiring process for example energy requiring process for example skeleton carbon skeleton ATP ATP bone different carbon mana breakdown so different carbon ki form breakdown breakdown parts molecules so this can be utilized in the biosynthesis of various other molecules for example carbon skeleton breakdown the ATP in high carbon product carbon product for example phospho in whole pyruvate PEP PGA phosphoglyceraldehyde photosynthesis products briefly introduction portion main content do plant breed related question okay, question number 1 this P choose the correct combination of A and B. Living organism need blank of for carry out daily life processes and is obtained by the blank of the macromolecule. Okay, very good. Topic do plant breed the do plant breed mechanism of the breakdown of food material within the cell to release energy and trapping of this energy to ATP synthesis Okay, very good. In nucleides, blank take place within the chloroplast, whereas the breakdown of the complex molecule to yield energy take place in the B and in the C ABCs.
A.
Okay, very good. Release of energy by the breakdown of carbon bond of the various organic molecule by the oxidation process of for the cell use is known as Kaikoba.
Respiration.
Okay, very good. Respiratory substrate are the kanano organic substance which are Kaikoba blend during the respiration for the to liberate energy.
Oxidize.
Okay, very good, oxidize with the book. And the step of respiration si kanana control door puno
E.
B na ko enzyme na control door kadin ne buka na sa gi step am lai bido kanana enzyme na control door kadin ne buka ibani nga sai kadai wai da hai ki hai dare gadi na ko Jadi aku nak so ki amma lai bido so hai kim ne buka okay samjhal la energy obtained by the oxidation se kari ki form the stored over no
C.
Okay, very good. Respiration the respiratory substrate kana oibi is last question is the ko ado khwaidagi common oiba khwaidagi usually ayamana sinabasina kanam oidaba
A. Carbohydrate.
okay, very good, okay. They doubt later the hydro